Peace, you already know what it is. Blacked out in the building. I'm in the building today with a special guest. My man Tonez is in the building with me.
My brother.
I'm afraid to tell you how far we go back. You might really know how old we are, but I've been rhyming with Tonez, let's just say some 80, 81.
Something like that.
Something like that.
It was like 19 around.
Yeah. One of them type of joints.
Yeah.
And, you know, we had our little battle crews and stuff like that. I always felt T.O.N.E was the most ready to go pro. You see what I'm saying? When we was all rhyming and stuff like that, you know, it's always one dude who's just, he's ready to be drafted. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was T.O.N.E. And your first single.
What a Brother Know.
What a Brother Know. What year did that drop?
90.
90.
Yeah, man. 90.
90, that was dope. That was dope.
And I got that idea from Chuck D.
You got the, what a brother know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As soon as I heard Chuck say that, I started, that's all I was saying. I was running around going, yo, what's up, what a brother know? And I just threw that in there.
So he made it a dope, you made it a dope line.
He made it a dope line.
He made a dope line.
I made it a dope song. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Thanks, Chuck.
Absolutely. And you know, back then, we go back, pause tapes. You know, we didn't even have equipment half the time.
Radio to radio.
Radio to radio joints, you know what I'm saying? Ping ponging.
You hearing the clicks on the tape.
Hearing the clicks, especially, and for me, remember, I was so poor, I couldn't even afford the pause button. You had to have a pause button. It just made your edits more smooth. And I told my mom, yo, go get me a box. And she came back with the stop button. And the stop button, you hear all the clicks.
Yeah.
Dance to the drummers, click. Dance to the drummers, beat the click.
Yeah.
But you know something? I got clowned for it, but I didn't mind, because that's what hip-hop was back then. And, you know, we did everything. I b-boyed a little bit. You know, I did my graffiti. I was terrible at it, but, you know, I did it a little bit. I remember we got, you know, turntables. My man Dave, shout out to Dave. And we set the turntables up on his mother's ironing board. We had one crate of records. The Super Disco breaks and a few other breaks in between. And we were mimicking the older dudes on the block.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's how I got introduced to hip hop. Rarely do I hear you speak of your lineage. You know, and I big that up because you didn't need that to carry who you were as an MC. But let's tell them who your brothers are.
Yeah, well, Special K from the Treacherous 3.
Special K from the Treacherous 3.
T.La Rock.
And T.La Rock.
Yeah, no
T-L-A-R-O-C-K. It's yours. And I always thought you wrote that song.
That was K.
That was K who wrote it.
Yeah.
And I talked to K about it, and he told me he had to force T.La Rock to take this song. He almost said he had
I didn't force him. Nah. K, I was there when I was in the room. I was upstairs in the crib. And it was K and DJ Louie Lou. Shout out to Louie Lou, who was DJing for K and T. And K had the 808, and he was making all these beats. It wasn't just as yours. He had about 5 or 6 songs that he did on that same lyrical level.
Got you.
And beat. You know what I mean? Because Rick Rubin came in later on. I think it changed the beat a little bit.
We'll talk Rick Rubin in a bit.
Well, I just wanted to throw that in there, so because K kind of made the beat, and I remember I walked in there, and he had this thing called Scratch Monopoly, and It's Yours.
Wow.
And I remember K was he just came out and just said, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna get this to T, man.
Wow. Just throw him a bone.
Gave it
That's
to him.
the only song. It's like it rhymes and then it don't rhyme, but then it rhymes again.
Yeah, K is ahead of his time.
Here's
the reason I've even picked up the pen.
Absolutely.
Wasn't for K, I wouldn't even be doing anything, man.
Yeah, K was ahead of his time.
Still is, man.
And I remember him saying when he had met Mo D and they tried to do that little fast rhyme shit, and K wasn't up on it yet.
Right.
And he said he went home, and when he returned the next day, he was killing them with it. Yeah. And that's when they knew, okay. We want you with us. You know, because he said he battled Mo and them, and you know they did that super duper party. You know,
with all the super duper.
Yeah, all that.
So they created that.
Created that style. It was dope, triple rhyme style joint.
Right.
And for K to go just one day. And process that and come back, they said, oh no, this is unreal. So, you know, that whole essence of what K and them were doing at that time was incredible. And I always said the Treacherous 3 in particular, there was no drop off from any MC.
No.
So you had some groups where maybe Kaz and JDL up front, and you know, and Almighty had the voice, and other dudes had different components, but their MCs got a little weak. You know, beyond the MC number 1 and maybe MC number 2.
Yeah.
but the Treacherous 3 was across the board. Yep. There was no drop off. Yep. So I thought Cold Crush had the best show. You know, the showmanship, Fantastic Five had their thing going. But MC for MC, rhyme for rhyme, you didn't want to run up on Treacherous 3.
No.
Because it was gonna be a problem.
Yep. You know, the only cats that kind of captured a little bit of that was the Fearless 4.
Fearless 4, but they were replicating.
Right. But they were still ill.
They were ill.
They were definitely
D.O.B. and you know
D.O.B. was Mo.
Yeah, he was Mo,
and T.O. was K and you know.
Right. So they kind of went off.
Peso too, by the way.
Peso and the crew, and you know, we all kind of, this all was happening very fast.
Right.
And you know, going to Cedar Park, and you know, being able to witness hip hop in its infancy stages was critical. But I always poked my chest out because I knew Special K, I knew T.O.N.E, I knew Keith Caesar, Funky Fun, I knew Busy B.
Keith Caesar,
you know, all these guys were from our neighborhood, and you know, we began to do our crew, and that's when you had your crew. I had my crew, and you know, Chill Force, big up to Reg and Easy L.
Oh man, yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Two dope MCs.
L MCs.
You know what I'm saying? Crazy
lyrical.
MCs.
Yeah.
And I only say that to say hip hop has a lot of unsung heroes.
Yeah.
Dudes who just never got their credit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like I had a crew called the Grandmaster 7 around my way, which was, you know, the older guys on the block who, you know, brought hip hop where you could touch it. See, when I went to Cedar Park, I was short enough to get to the rope, but I couldn't touch it. I couldn't feel it. The Grandmaster 7 was dudes from my block. So you could get right up on in. You know, they covered the records, and you learn all the aesthetics of what hip hop would become in those early stages. And I thank them for that. And then, you know, oh shit, that's Special K. You know, then, you know, you started looking at, and these dudes were superheroes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These dudes were superheroes to us growing up in the hood. You know what I mean? So when T-La finally heard my album, the Tall, Dark, and Handsome joint, and he was like, okay, I see where y'all going. That meant a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? Because that was like my older homie saying, I see what you young guys is doing. So I thought that was dope.
Real ill, man. Chill. You mentioned the people, Reg, and my crew. I had DJ P, who's still out there.
Yes.
That's my family. That's family. That's like blood family, damn near. And man, Jose. Yeah, man.
And Jose, believe it or not, what he lacked in lyricism, he brought in stage presence and energy.
Definitely.
So you know,
an ill voice too.
Ill voice. So there was always a component. And we was doing this out of love. This was strictly love for the culture and what we was doing. There was no money involved. We didn't think about money. I just think about, yo, when I see T.O.N.E and Jose, they say something. Yo, we got these bars for them. You know what I mean?
And we had Master C.
Yeah.
Master C passed away years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, Master C.
He passed away?
Yeah, man.
I did not know that.
He died in jail, man. Yeah.
Wow. I did not know that.
He passed away, and he was our DJ, man. Man, you making me reminisce, man.
Yeah, before we you know, stream it forward.
Yeah.
It's important that we
I know. I just thought about Master C.
And you know what I'm saying? And hip hop just meant so much. It was our outlet. And like I said, rarely do I ever hear you mention that, but it's important to recognize.
No, I mean, I mention it, you know what I mean?
But from time to time.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, yo, that's how you got on.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't no nepotism with that.
No, and that wasn't the case.
No, definitely wasn't.
Like I said, when I heard It's Yours, I said, T.O.N.E wrote that. Because I could just tell the way T.O.N.E was, you know what I'm saying? But it makes sense that it came
It was
from
K, because I started rapping under K. I followed his way of rapping. Yeah, man.
So the first artist on Def Jam, T.La, right?
Party Time Def Jam.
Party Time Def Jam. Is that when Rick Rubin showed up on the scene, or
he came around the way? Around my way. Rick Rubin. I remember he came to the door, and I was a little dude, man. And I remember he was knocking on the door, and I went outside, and you know, we in the Bronx, so I said, "Man, this is white dude. There's two of them." Now I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be bugged. That was two of them, right? Two white dudes outside. He looked scruffy as his hair, his beard all messed up. Another dude there, a leather jacket, all dusty looking and stuff, and I remember I ran in the house and I said, "Ma, there's these white people out there." So of course, right away, she was like, "Must be the cops or something."
Right, absolutely.
So she went to the door and he asked, and at the time I didn't know it was Rick, but Rick said, he said, "Yo, we looking for T, whatever, right?" So they came in and whatever, went upstairs, and I had to stay downstairs. I was too young or whatever. So then later on that night, we had a party on Nelson Park. Doing DJs came out and everything.
Yeah.
So I snuck around there. I wasn't supposed to even go around a corner. So I snuck around there, they say, and Kay said, "Yo, grab the mic, man, grab the mic." I said, "All right." So I grabbed the mic and I'm rocking, and the white dude that was with Rick was MCA from the Beastie Boys.
Wow.
That was I didn't know he was MCA at the time.
Right.
I said, "Yo, man," and so later on,
it made sense.
I said, "Yo, Crush Groove." I said, "Yo, that's a dude, you know, from the Beastie Boys." So that was kind of wild right there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man, the two white dudes.
And I also thought that LL Cool J, "I Need a Beat," almost sounded like It's Yours. Or as if he used it as a template.
That's what he did. Yeah.
Okay, as if he used it as his own template. Yeah. He was dope.
Yeah,
but you can tell he was a fan.
Yeah, definitely.
Of Tila Rocks.
Yeah, well, he was a fan of the way it was written and how it was, you know, because he said it. Like L, he doesn't front. Like he'll sit there and be like, "Yeah, man, you know, he'll give it up." You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
That was a cool cat. So yeah, he got that from that because he even had the same break.
Yes.
Break 2.
Yes.
But they used the DMX on that, and he used the 808. These are drum machines, by the way.
Absolutely.
That they used that on. They used the 808 for T, and then
what label did you record, or what a brother knows on?
That was Select. Shout out to Fred Manale, who owns Select Records.
On Select, he was on Select.
I was on
Did
Select.
you ever do an album with them, or?
Yeah, we did the Assassinator.
The Assassinate, right? So it's I'm going back.
Yeah,
I just know the single was crazy.
Yeah, man. I got that deal on my own, man. My mother didn't want me to get a record deal. I was too young. She was like, "You ain't gonna be following your brother for that." I was like, "Mom, but I want to rap." You know how he was about MCing, man.
It was
MCing was about everything. I didn't care about nothing else. I was like, "Look,
MCing was breathing.
If I ain't MCing, I ain't breathing." You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I remember that. What happened was I wound up taking my little sneaker money, and I was going to the studio. There was a studio with Kenny Scott.
Yes.
In the Bronx.
Weeks Avenue.
Yep. And I used to have him holes in my sneakers and everything.
Big up to Kenny Scott.
And
he passed away.
He passed away too.
Yeah.
But anyway, I used to go there and record, and I didn't tell anybody. I was just doing it on my own. Me and Mick.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Mick Nice. Shout out to Mick Nice.
Mick Nice, absolutely.
That's more family right there.
Yes.
So we used to go there, and I just started sending the demos out. I did what a lot of cats did, sending the demos out, and it landed up at this production company, and that's when I met my man Hollywood from the Hollywood Impact, and that's through the production company. They shot my deal around, and there was a little bidding war.
Gotcha.
So it was Profile Records, Select, Tommy Boy, Next Plateau, and Wild Pitch. My man Stu Fine. And I remember Select gave us $90,000 to sign that deal. Don't go.
Yo, shot.
Don't whistle on a dock in the bay with that, because I got $8,000 out of that. They robbed me blind, man.
Oh, they robbed.
Yeah,
well,
man.
You knew that was gonna happen.
I didn't know,
dude.
I wasn't supposed to sign it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't. My mom was supposed to come.
Yeah,
and I went there. I was like, I ain't telling her.
But look how many of artists at that particular time got robbed, because it's the music business, right? I signed my deal with B-Boy Records on some old.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
B-Boy Records.
Yeah. Bill Camaro and them dudes. But I have a Tommy Boy story too. Yeah. And in 1985, I was a part of a crew called the Culture Brothers. This is after I had left Steve and them. Yeah, and we was auditioning, and they didn't want the group. Mm-hmm. They just wanted me. They heard Joyce, the story around with the girl.
Yeah, you know I know that one. Mm-hmm.
And at that point, crew was important. You know what I mean? Right. You didn't abandon
to the labels, but
but to us, you didn't abandon your crew. And I didn't abandon them, and as a result, we didn't sign the deal. Then 4th and Broadway, before Rakim and them signed, wanted to sign us, and one of my boys missed the photo shoot, and then they, you know what I'm saying? So I wound up trickling down to B-Boy Records as a last result. Almighty KG, we were speaking about him earlier.
That's my man.
Almighty KG heard I had put Money Ray, you know what I'm saying? God bless him.
Yes, Money Ray, man.
Money Ray.
Solid dude right there.
R.I.P. It was just me and him at first. And he was like, "What are we gonna call ourselves?" I was like, "Well, let's tall, dark, and handsome. It's just me and him." And Boo was there. And was like, "Yo, but I'm tall."
Love, yeah.
He was like, "I'm tall,
quite tall."
Dip
with the hip when I'm
playing ball. Yeah. And I looked and said, "Yeah, you are kind of tall." And as a result, we formed Tall, Dark, and Handsome. KG had some beats from the 45 King. He didn't tell me they was from. Mark the 45 King at the time. We heard the Darling Dear with the Michael Jackson sample, and the rest is history. We signed with B-Boy Records.
Dope album, though. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I know it's all over YouTube. I know it's all over YouTube and all that other kind of stuff. And so that's how that, you know, progressed up. So tell me what you've been doing since. I see you was Emmy nominated. You know what I'm saying? You doing TV shows. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man. All right, well, I don't want to just fast forward that much.
Okay.
But what happened was after Select, right? I left there. I don't want to get it. It wasn't nothing too crazy, but I left. You know, I left there, and I thought I was gonna be able to go to those labels that wanted me before. Turns out that they all were homies, all the presidents. So that didn't happen. And Stu Fine, I was supposed to rock with him over at Wild Pitch, because that was my man. And Lord Finesse was over there.
Yes.
Gurus, I was real tight with Gangstar. Guru and them was over there. And a lot of cats was over there. And I thought I was gonna be over there, but I wasn't. It wasn't because of the music though. It was some other stuff. But I don't want to badmouth the execs over there. You know, they did what they supposed to do
at that time.
At that time and at this time. So anyway, so from there, I just went around just trying to shop deals. I was going to everywhere, man. I was going to every label. I went to Bad Boy. That was interesting.
Interesting,
Yeah, all I got to say is, you know, aside from the deal that I could have got, they was on some other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, do tell.
Nah, man, I ain't getting all that. I ain't gonna blow nobody up. But let's just say like this, man. If I go to a coffee shop and I just want my coffee, but I don't want no sugar in it, I just want the coffee.
Right, absolutely.
I don't want no sugar.
Got you. Say no more.
You know what I mean?
Say no more.
So I ain't gonna say who, but it was a little funny style over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? But like I said, for people that do their thing, they do their thing over there. They signed. I don't know what their circumstances was, but
they got
I caused a fit over there. Like I was screaming over there. What, man? You mother! I was screaming and stuff. So probably shouldn't have did that.
But then they knew.
But they knew, and I'm sure the word spread. Yo, whatever you do, don't offer this dude none of that weirdo shit.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I did that. Then I started getting low. I did my little press the record up. My man, Mr. Noise. Shout out to Mr. Noise. We both know Jay. We'll get into Jay-Z a little later. But we both know Jay, and he helped me out. Mr. Noise. He came through and he pressed up some singles for me and stuff. And shout outs to my man, Truck Turner from the Bronx. His rap name was Truck Turner, man. He had a joint with him, KRS-One, and Big Pun. They redid the symphony. And then he did a joint with me, so shout outs to him. He's from the same projects that Drag On is from.
Gotcha.
Rough Riders. So I just wanted to shout him out, because he was on a single with me. So anyway, I did that, and just the industry just wasn't rocking with me, man. You know what I'm saying? And then I just started doing the mixtape thing. When I seen 50, because I knew about 50 already, just on some street, because 50 was, 50 was 50.
Yeah.
The 50 set in Queens, not the Brooklyn 50.
You mean
the OG?
You mean the OG 50?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the rapper. I'm talking about the rapper 50.
Right.
So I started. I seen what he was doing, and I said, you know what? That was the time when it was G-Unit, Dipset, and it was just G-Unit and Dipset that was killing it. So no other cast was really putting it down on the mixtape heavy like that. He was doing it.
Right.
So what I did was I seen that they were killing it in the tri-state. So what I did was I said, you know what? I had this chick I knew over in Manchester, England. So what I did was, as I said, I pressed up my own CDs and I shipped them over there and sold them for £10.
Okay.
So if I sell 30 over there, when the money transferred from pounds to dollars, I was getting back close to almost $600.
Woo!
So that was a little hustle that I had, you know what I mean? So I was doing that, and I just kept doing that for a while, and then I linked up with this underground scene, man, with ICP, St. Clown Posse.
Yeah,
them cats,
good
dudes, them cats. I rock with them. Tech Nine, he's in that. Cottonmouth Kings, all
I love
that.
Tech Nine.
So them kids from that group, man, that whole genre of kids, man, they call it juggalos. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And what they do is there's just like a big family, man, and they kind of embraced me, and I just started rocking with them. And you know what it reminded me of? The early stages of hip hop.
Gotcha.
Want to know why? Because they wasn't about the money. Well, the fans weren't. They weren't about the money, and even the rappers that were in there, they just wanted to get their music out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It really wasn't about all that. I mean, I went there talking about, yo, man, I sold this, and I was on this chart, and they was like, good. But then when they heard the music, and I didn't even go in there, it was just some kid on the internet. Because what I did also is I took a lot of I seen that people had a website, right? All these hip hop websites, and I sent them my music, but they all wanted me to pay to be on their website. So I was like, nah. So I started my own website. So when I did that, I went and spammed every website. I'm talking about I went to every G-Unit website, every Michael Jackson, Britney Spears. I went to every website that had a forum, and I spammed the hell out of them with my links. To the point where somebody was like, yo, who is this mother? So it was somebody in that market.
Young people pay attention. Mm-hmm.
So it was somebody in that market heard me. It was a matter of fact, it was a cat from Germany named Geist.
I've heard of Geist.
He found me on probably a who knows some website, and I had my site there.
Does he still do music?
I don't know. I don't really
because that name rings
I don't
a
know
bell.
if he's still doing music, but he was cool as hell.
I've been to Germany a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. And he told me about it, and he started sending my stuff to those underground websites that ICP and them was a part of, and they just started embracing me. So I did that. So then before that, I was trying to work with the mixtape DJs, with K Slay and all them cats.
Right.
I sent them my joints. Yo, man, you got the shit. Yo, you got bars, blah, 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 blah. It's like, all right, man, so you gonna put it on? Yeah, no doubt, man. But yo, fill out this form or whatever. All right, cool, man. $500.
Yeah.
$1,000 to be track number 3. I'm like, it's a CD.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so I was like, the hell with that. So I made my own mixtapes. That was when I started listening. Like I told you about 50 and all that. I said I could do that too. So I did my own mixtapes. Then with the website thing, I said I started my own website.
Got you.
So I did that and drew all the traffic there, and that's when I've been rocking with them for a while. Now those mixtapes that I put out in that underground scene, my man in Brooklyn, shout out to Wrench, he made the Gangsta Grass thing. We'll get into that in a second. He heard me from back when I was hanging out with KG back then, and my man DJ JS1, he DJs for Rozelle.
Okay.
You know, people from the Roots and all that.
Yes.
So he took me to a studio in Queens. I met Wrench while I was recording there. Wrench said, yo, why don't you come to my crib? And you shouldn't have. You don't say that to an MC.
Absolutely.
I was there 7 o'clock the next day, stepping over me with newspaper and all that. So we recorded a bunch of stuff that I put out in the underground scene, and then he took those vocals and chopped up these bluegrass samples and put these beats under them and put my vocals over them and put it out for free. This was in 2004. Fast forward 2009, somebody over at FX stumbled onto it, and they were looking for some kind of music for this TV show. And they stumbled onto it, like, yo, what's this? And then they called us and said, hey, man, we want to use one of these tracks for the commercial for a show called Justified. So he's like, yeah, no problem, you know. They paid some good dough, but we had to redo it because it was samples. And then it got so popular on YouTube that somebody said, well, yo, man, this is the theme song. And it wasn't. So they contacted us and said, yo, man, you think you guys could do a theme song? I'm like, yeah.
Absolutely.
So my man Wrench, it was just drums. Sent me the drums, maybe a little bass, and I knocked the lyrics out real quick, you know how we do.
Right.
And he fixed it, sent it to them, and like the next day, they was like, yo, we're gonna use it, here's another check, and then it just became the theme song for that.
Wow.
Now, there's no fast forward here because this happened like a few months later, the show comes out, and then we get we get a call saying, hey, by the way, you know, the song just got nominated for an Emmy, right? And me, I'm the TV fanatic. I'm the binge watching Netflix master. You know what I mean? I'm going, Emmys. So the first thing I think of is not, oh man, we're gonna be so successful. I start thinking about all the actors and actresses I'm gonna meet for my favorite TV shows.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm looking at that, and then I called up Sony, Sony Pictures is behind Justified 2. I hit them up. Yo, so what's up? They wasn't even gonna send us there.
Wow.
And I talked them into that.
Got you.
Talked them into shooting the music video. Talked them into putting it on the first DVD. I talked them into everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we went out there, and that's, you know, the season. It went up to season 6, and you know, that's it.
Yeah.
But I used that as a stepping stone to get my stuff on more shows. So I had songs on Bones, on all MTV2, all kind of TV shows. But I always, like I was telling you earlier, I keep the rights to the songs and I put them out as singles. Because if I put it out by myself, I may sell 5,000-10,000 copies. But if I put it out and it ends up on a TV show, I make sure on the contract, like I told you, I said, look, man, number one, I keep the rights, keep my publishing. You have to promote it on the show. Like you have to say, music supplied by T.O.N.E, whatever. Get it on iTunes now. You got to do that. And also, you got to put it up on all your Twitters and
all your channels.
And when I put it up on the cover, it has to say music from the TV show. So that way, somebody's gonna find it, and that's just, you know, that's how you gotta do it.
Are y'all listening? So don't let nothing. There are no doors that cannot be opened.
Nah.
Oh, you gotta open it yourself, crack it, bust it through, and I can already tell. T.O.N.E is a thinker. I've known T.O.N E for years, so he's already going, all right. How I'm gonna do this? Oh, y'all don't want to do that, but how I'm gonna do this, and so forth and so on.
Definitely.
You were telling me how you got your joint on. You were just telling me in the kitchen there, you had to redo a song, or you had to do something because they didn't want to put it on the DVD, or you were saying?
Oh yeah. Here's the thing, like, and with Justified, what happened is the deal that we got, they wasn't budging on giving us money for the song and the video being on the DVDs. There's certain thing that these corporations will not budge on because they know that's gonna bring a ton of bread.
Right.
So since they didn't budge on that, I was like, all right, cool, you know. And then I started thinking, well, how am I gonna get some bread from these DVDs? So I said, man, you know, I can act a little bit. So I hit up my man, shout out Graham Yost, that's the producer and wrote a lot of the man behind Justified. I was hitting him up like, yo, you know, what's up, man? Let me get a scene. Kept hitting him. So he just said, yo, come out. So I went out there and I got on maybe 2 or 3 episodes. So now I'm on the DVD. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to get some of that. You know what I mean? And I had to do it that way because they wasn't budging on the music.
And then you had a nice little scene. It was a short scene in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I was a young
doctor or something.
You know who called me for that? There was the production company that I signed to before I signed with Select. There was a receptionist that I had this big crush on. I used to always, her name was Lorna, and I used to go in there and flirt with her all the time. And then she said, hey, there's a friend of mine who's doing a movie. His brother runs Your MTV Raps. And I remember when I got signed to Select, and they put the What a Brother No video out, they played on MTV, and Ted Demme, that's his name. Ted Demme was the guy behind Your MTV Raps, and his brother was Jonathan Demme. He did Silence of the Lambs. Matter of fact, he did Silence of the Lambs. He did a bunch of joints, and he was working on Philadelphia. So she called him and said, "Yo, I got this rapper guy. He got a video out." And because Ted had talked to her about me being on Your MTV Raps, and they flew me out there. Not flew me, it was a train. It was Philly. So I went out to Philly, man. And they didn't have much for me to do because the movie was almost over. So I got there at the end scene, and I was there for 2 weeks, and they paid me some decent bread. I wasn't even in the union. I got a chance to meet Denzel, which was real bad. Horrible experience, by the way. But
why? I mean,
he wasn't
Denzel at the time.
He wasn't Denzel like
in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he was getting to the Denzelism. But yeah, he was kind of like, you know.
We try to curb you or something when we see that nigga. Son.
Nah, believe me, I was already on my Bronx shit when I was there.
Oh,
but
okay,
I couldn't, you know, I was gonna swing on Denzel or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But Tom Hanks was cool. Gave me his phone number. It's a cool cat.
Cool.
Of course, I called when I got back and got doo-doo-doo. You stupid motherfucker. Like that type shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, yeah, I did that, man. But I didn't have any lines in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't even get any credits at the end.
Okay.
Because they didn't put the guy that was the orderly. They wasn't gonna put that.
Right. Okay.
And so I did that, man. But yo, the movie thing, yeah, I'm diving into that now. Because after the Justified thing, I started doing my own thing.
Absolutely.
I was trying to get into some vampire films. I'm a vampire fan. I did my own. That's what I said. I said, you know what? I couldn't get in any.
Tone, I don't wanna. I mean,
it's already done, bro.
You know, I could get in a scene or two. You know.
Yeah, part 2, man. I got you.
Put my shit on.
You know but I wrote a short film. Flew out to L.A. Had Jonathan Demme from. Not Jonathan Demme. Oh, by the way, Jonathan Demme passed away and Ted Demme passed away.
Wow.
Both of them. Ted Demme passed away a while ago on a basketball court. And Jonathan Demme died, Okay. And Jonathan Demme died recently. I think this year Jonathan died.
So you mentioned Hollywood. What's going on out there in Hollywood? Is it what people say?
Oh, you're funny. Are you talking about the producer Hollywood?
No, you know.
What do you want to know, D?
I'm just saying, you know, I've always had, you know, Hollywood is, you know, the casting couch.
Definitely.
You know, just some weird things going on out in Hollywood.
I'll put it like this:
Hollywood parties. It's Cat Williams out of his mind. Let's get down for the get down.
I can only speak for what I've seen personally and what I've witnessed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna speak on conspiracy theories and whatever's on YouTube. But I tell you this much, man. Hollywood is just like high school. Same thing. Just like going to a high school party. You go there and you got the cats that get high, you got the freaky chicks, you got the funny style dudes, you got the people with the money that got the better drinks. It's the same thing, man. And you the new guy coming in, you new to the school.
Got you.
So you get in there, you trying to get in where you fit in. So you go over here and the weird stuff is like, nah, I ain't rocking with that.
Got you.
The rich folks might not even pay attention to you unless you have something that they want.
Absolutely.
So you wind up trying to find somebody on the same level. If I burn, I rock with the get highs.
Got you.
If I rock with the cats the people that get they sip on, I rock with the same thing. Boom. Yeah, so as far as the casting couch, of course. But see, here's the way I see it, right? I know everybody wants to think that there's this secret thing going on. First of all, you and I both know there are no secrets.
Absolutely.
It's not. There's no such thing as a secret.
The secret is there are no secrets.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So when you talk about what men do, we're gonna talk about the dudes because we all know about Madonna and the stories with her and all that. Yeah. I ain't saying allegedly, but you know,
my man smashed Madonna, but that's all.
You know what I'm saying? Story. Okay. All right. So, but when you talk about what these guys do, I say this much: it's a choice. It's all it is, man. They're not making.
So they're not forcing you into some initiation.
You're saying you.
Like,
I'm talking about.
No, not. Yeah, I'm just saying.
You make that clear. Ain't you know?
Yeah, they're not saying, yo, if you want to be down with.
No, they might say it. No, listen.
But you do have a choice.
You have a choice.
You can say, nah, I ain't rocking with that.
That's you could. And if they decide, okay, cool, then do it. Then there's no agenda with that. The only agenda it's just like you see it. Look, you see well, not you married, man. But if I see a, little mommy coming through, holler at her, see what's up.
Right.
If she rock with me, she rock with me. If she don't, then she don't.
Gotcha.
But it's up to her, right? Now, if I'm slipping something in a drink or something, taking advantage, that's something different, and that's
we'll get to Bill Cosby in a minute.
Yeah, that's some weirdo stuff right there, and that's some detestable nonsense. But like the boxer cat that they caught in Philly, like a couple, like it was last year, he said that they drugged him and all kinds. Then it turns out he was living that lifestyle. And then they had movies with him.
Right.
So I was like, dog, you made that choice. Now let's just say MC so-and-so decides he wants to go sign with some company, right? So he goes there, and they look at him like, okay, cool. They always gonna test you. Just like you go in the yard, you go to jail where everybody's been locked up, you go there, you're gonna get tested. You move to a neighborhood, they're gonna test you.
Right.
You move to anywhere, they want to fill you out. In them cases, literally fill you out, but they want to fill you out and see what's up. Like, yo, who's this cat? What's he about? Right. That's basically what they do. And if they see you on that, yo man, get rich or die trying, I don't care, I'll do anything for the bread. I don't care what it is.
Say no more.
They go, word? Now they might go, man, that's not a challenge. Make sure he gets $5,000 a show and he can afford a condo. Get him out of here. Make his record sell 100,000.
Right.
He might do that, right?
Got you.
Then you got the cast that's like, man, I don't know. There he is.
That's the challenge.
Now they'll approach him. I don't know how. Maybe they invite him to a party. I got invited to parties.
Was there weird things?
Cat Williams was not bullshitting.
Got you.
But like I said, it's nothing out of the ordinary that you wouldn't see at a party that just has a whole bunch of different kind of people there.
Got you.
We ain't do that shit in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm saying you see some things like you go to college parties are crazy. Just like that. You know what I mean? So they get there and let's say he says, okay, bet I'll go to the party. He get to the party and say, hey man, so what kind of deal you looking for? Whatever. He go, I want to be as rich like Diddy. I want to be whatever the fuck niggas are saying now, right?
Right.
And so you say that, and then the guy goes, okay, well you know what, blah blah blah, boom boom boom. We could offer you this and offer you that. While he's saying offer that, he's rubbing your shoulder or some weird shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And instead of you going, fuck you doing? You go, you just thinking about the money. All of a sudden you like, fuck it, you rubbing my shoulder. Fuck it, it's $1 million. Well, we might give you $2 million.
Absolutely.
You rub your other shoulder. I don't know. But at that moment, this is hypothetical. That this is what probably goes on right now. Well, somebody told me this, but I can't put them out there.
All right, don't put them out there.
There's somebody that's
we'll
pretty known.
We'll talk off camera.
Yeah. There's somebody that's pretty known. But the thing is well, he's not that known because he didn't do it. But what I'm saying is he let's say he does that, and then he says, all right, bet. So he goes there and does it, and then they film him. Or you go there and what you know the rules, like when you go to somebody's crib and they say you want something to drink, they could be offering you water.
Right.
But you go in these places and the first thing they do is start offering you alcohol, or they pulling out something, you know what I'm saying? They burning, sniffing, whatever. If you go into that, they already know how to get to you.
Absolutely.
Let's get this dude fucked up.
That's it. Get
him ripped.
Get him ripped and the rest
get him toe up. He's gonna drink the drink, so let's slip something in there.
Absolutely.
Now, you slip something in there, something happened to you the next day. You go, nah, I ain't signing that deal. Like my man from No Limit said, pop in that tape.
Pop the tape.
And you look at that shit going, yo man, I was wondering why I was walking a certain way or whatever.
Absolutely.
And then now you got a choice. You could say, look man, right there on the spot, put it out there. Yo, they drugged me. Blah, 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 blah. Look at my eye, whatever. But dudes go, nah, I can't. And then they got you. But you know what that is? To me, that's just what they do to chicks. They do that, so to me, it's not some room full of dudes with robes and upside down crosses trying to steal something like a soul or something.
So you mean it's not the Illuminati?
You know what the Illuminati is? A song that I heard way back in the days, man. I don't know about no Illuminati.
Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body.
Now you know what it is?
Society trying to keep the eye on me. My man Prodigy.
Yeah. Now look. As far as this Illuminati thing goes,
yeah.
Do I believe there is? Of course. I mean, it's out there. You know what I mean? But these things have been around forever, man. It's like going to a new neighborhood, and the local crew that run the whole neighborhood. You knew there. They're the Illuminati. So what are you gonna do? You wanna get what everybody else is getting? You gotta rock with them. Absolutely. Or you could do your own thing and not be as
popular.
It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? But as far as it being a room, I think it's all up here, man. I don't think the Illuminati is a group of dudes. Like it's 5 guys in a room. I think it's a way of thinking and it's a consciousness. That's just what I think. You know what I mean? So if you open up that door in your mind and they know that they can get in there just from a couple of offers and a couple of words, then they got you.
Well, yeah, I'm going to agree with that. And also remember this. How can so few control so many? So there has to be structures in place, and that's at every single job. Everywhere you go, there's upper management, which I call the detached part of the pyramid. The lower part of the pyramid, the janitor don't know what the fuck's going on in upper management, what the future that's going to be. As within, so without. So when you apply these concepts to worldly situations, we know the Masonic Order, the Knights Templar, we know all of these organizations do exist. Right. What we try to explain, at least in what I try to teach, is try to take the macrocosm and put it in a microcosm understanding of it, that the industry is controlled by certain people, the music industry, the movie industry, and it ain't all about money. It is about control. Yeah. It is about controlling one who has control over millions. Right. So when we started teaching the Illuminati, we went with the history of Adam Weishaupt and him coming with the secret documents, and that's the linear story of what the Illuminati is. But now it is so watered down and so generic in terms of how people use the term. They make everything seem like it's the Illuminati.
It became pop culture then.
It became pop culture. You know who I thought made it pop culture? Who? Jay-Z.
Well, you know who made it pop culture? It wasn't Jay-Z. It was the people accusing Jay-Z.
That's what I mean.
You know what I'm saying? He ran with it. He put all the symbolism. Let me tell you something.
He ran with it.
Jay puts these things in the videos on purpose because he knows it's gonna go viral. He know everybody. This is my problem with. Here's another problem I have with this whole thing. Every black, and I'm just gonna speak for us, right? Any black celebrity that comes out, or any black person that comes out before they're a big celebrity, is always, they have to sell their soul.
Right.
That's the only way to get in. And I tell people, here's my thoughts on that, right? First of all, by saying that, you're taking the power away from God. You mean God can't get you a record deal, son?
Absolutely.
This is what I think. You pray, God gives you whatever he's going to give you. What you do with that is on you. Gotcha. Again, what is that? A choice.
A choice.
So if I came up here and I said, yo, D, man, my rent is short and whatever, that's my man. You know what I'm saying? You probably gonna go, yo, Tone, you hurt? I got you. Give me 1,000, right? So from here, I stop on Fordham. I said, man, my kicks are looking kind of crazy. So I decide to not get some Reeboks. I want the new J's. Let's go low on the J's. 200, which is low for J's. Right. Then I say, I'm starving. Normally I get a $1 menu. No, I'm gonna go to Frederico's. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get a steak that's gonna cost me another $1.50. So then I stop, I get a coat. So by the time I get home, and if I was married, my wife or whatever, but I say my girl or whatever, she's there going, yo, man, I thought you had $1,000. I go, yo, I got $125. What happened? Look at the kicks. I was hungry. I bought you some. I got you a doggy bags, piece of steak. Now, you blessed me, right? Now, it was up to me to take that straight home.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing, son.
Same concept.
You give a Lil Wayne, here's $5 million. I like Wayne, but I'm just throwing him in there because I feel like it. You know what I mean? So throw Wayne $5 million. Here, put out 3 albums. He decided to make every album, suck my dick, fuck you, bitch, your mother's a hoe. That's on him. You understand? So what you do with that blessing is up to you. There's no God can't give you a break. I can't stand that, man. When people be like, yo, the only reason why they're famous is because of the devil.
Well, I think part of people not wanting to accept the fact that they selves are underachievers,
right,
is that they try to say anybody in the industry now if you're making any kind of money, you're the Illuminati or you sold your soul.
Right.
And again, that's ignorance on top of ignorance.
Right.
But it makes people feel good when they say that kind of shit.
Well, it's just trolling now. It's easy to
say.
Say.
It's a troll. So we have to be careful when we toss these concepts and ideas around, because we don't want people to get the idea that the only way you can get in the industry and pop off. Now, look at Dave Chappelle. Mm-hmm. It seems like he had a choice.
Yeah.
Like I said, listen, if this 50 million is for this, are you ready to make that leap?
Right.
And he said, I'm not ready for that.
Right.
So
he got it now, though.
Oh, he got it now.
He got it with Netflix, gave him that 50 million.
Now.
But then look at Kevin Hart, right? Mm-hmm. Kevin Hart was like, I ain't never wearing a dress or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. A couple months later, they had him on Saturday Night Live with the Shaniqua dress.
Absolutely.
Standing next to some Pope dude and putting his hands up. I can't even do it. Doing all that crazy shit. After that, he's been in 50 million movies. Now, we could look at that, like how you like, he's, one thing you like that you say that I stick with is he says, depends on how you look at it.
Absolutely.
Now, we look at that and going, oh, he sold his soul, he wore a dress, so now he's down with that. Or he could have just did good on that and they hired him.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But we do know that there's a lot of symbolism, and there's there's a lot of symbolism, and Jay and Nas talk to each other on levels that we may not understand, but I'm sure you understand.
Absolutely.
But so don't. I'm not saying that there's nothing going on. I'm just saying the obvious of, okay, man, what's up, man? Let me sign that. Here's my soul. I always say, how are we gonna sell something we don't own? You know what I'm saying? I look at that like, yo, do you own your soul? What is a soul? Is it you die and you float up like Patrick Swayze with the same clothes you had on when you died? Like, what is that? What is your soul? To me, it's your integrity, who you are, what you stand for.
Absolutely.
So if you're gonna sell that out, that's just a sellout. That's not a soul. But that is your soul, but it's not like some floating spirit.
No, right. That's,
you know what I mean?
We
like
don't
the devil's down there going, yo,
sense.
I want them same kicks you had on when you were dead.
But it's that integrity. It's that integrity that you speak about. What you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do.
Exactly.
You have to have that line drawn in the sand.
Right.
For yourself.
Right.
For yourself, you got to say, this is a line I'm just not gonna cross. I'm not bending over, touching my toes.
Right.
I'm not gonna be doing this. I'm not going to none of your spirit cooking parties and shit. That's just not what I'm going to do.
Right.
Now, the next brother may say, my threshold for pain might be his starting point for pain, or endurance. And he might go, yo, I'm touching my toes. I'm gonna do all that because I'm so enamored by what the opportunity may present. So you got to get in where you fit in with all of that kind of stuff. I tell people that all the time. What are you looking to get out of it? Man, you know what I mean?
Right now, it's just a mighty dollar. That's all.
Yeah.
Everybody want that money. This is the reason why, like when people talk about like the music and they say everything right now is even the elders. The first thing they say is, man, I don't like that, man, but he getting that check, man.
Right.
He getting that bread.
Right.
When your motivation is money, that's when you're, hey, man, I'll do whatever it takes.
Absolutely.
Because where we come from, it's like, we ain't do no crazy wild shit like that. We did some things that we shouldn't have done to other people to get that bread.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But when you on the level
of your motherfucking head a couple of times, but that's a whole other story.
But that's that, get rich or die trying, that's like freedom or give me death. You know what I'm saying? Like that was something to stand for, but it became, and it's all about the bread right now. Like right now, you can say, I don't like Lil Yachty, but I ain't hating on him getting his money.
And what's happening with these millennials, you can't even question anything other than the money for them, because the only thing that matters to them is the money.
Oh, you a hater.
The end result, you're a hater.
You're a hater.
So when you try to go through scenarios and be like, yo, dude, you did what?
Yeah.
You're a hater. So they don't care as long as the money is being made, which makes them easy. That's cannon fodder for these Jews who run these labels.
And that's who runs it. Remember that.
Right. Don't get it twisted. So
I
want to pay attention to what's going to happen with Jay-Z now, because he mentioned the Jews.
Oh, Jay's at that level now, man.
Did he pay his ADL fees and
Yeah, Jay's good, man.
He probably paid his fees.
Jay's being real. I mean, he waited, and like we said, he's always been dropping jewels. It's just that Jamal said something. Peace to Jamal too.
Lord Jamal.
Yeah, Jamal. Yeah, man. He had said something about damn, I lost my chain of thought. But we was talking about
the Jews.
About the Jews and
Jay-Z.
Oh, he said no, it wasn't Jamal. It might have been him. He might have said it too, but I know it was what's the kid that rocked with Mos Def?
Talib
Kweli. He has said that sometimes a lot of Jay-Z's words, He said this about Jamal. That's what it was. He said that Jamal's points get lost on street talk. Like his points get lost because he's talking that street talk. Which to me is like, that's brilliant. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. But I think with Jay, a lot of his points was missed because he mentions money. But he doesn't mention money like Birdman mentioned it. Like, I got a $20 million hat. What you got? That's basically what he's saying. He's the one that's shitting on people. But Jay would be like, yo, what's better than 1 billionaire? 2.
Absolutely.
That's saying, yo, you and your partner, you and your boy, you and your girl, you and your wife can go out there and get this. But he's speaking on levels. And right now, the reason why Jay's he's getting a lot of praise for that album, but the reason why he's getting flack, first of all, he did something that Nas made him do. Jay's making people explain themselves. Because Nas did that to him. When Nas dropped Ether, Jay was like, no, I say big rhymes because of this. Right. He made him, this is the God MC
had to
explaining himself.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. I don't even know if Nas, he knew he was doing that shit. But then Jay's doing it to everybody. It was your little Boosie. And you know, 50 always throwing shots at people, so we're going to leave him over there because 50 a funny cat. So he probably had his own reasons for saying something to Jay, but
he said Jay's album sound like
he's like, it's like for golf, like golf music. It was fun, elevator music. He said he should be listening to it with glasses and a sweater tied around his waist. 50's a funny dude. But, you know, and then Chuck D came out and said, what, you supposed to be ignorant to listen to it? Like, so Chuck D kind of balanced it, but he had a point that Jay was saying a lot of stuff, but it was falling behind because of the other fly shit he was saying. But he wasn't really saying nothing too crazy, like on the money shit. He was just mentioning it.
On this particular one, I gave him praise because it just brought everything full circle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you only the sum of your experiences. I tell people that all the time. So I've had children a very long time. I've been in parent mode a very long time. So at one point I was coming at Jay like, yo, dude, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean? And he didn't have any children. He didn't have a wife at the time early on. And now the sum of his experiences has brought him full circle to fully understand the power of his words, the imagery. And he's telling, yo, you know what I mean? Get your chips up. Yeah. And just because he say, I put down 1 million, 2 years later it's worth 2 million.
But he's saying that because of the stuff they were saying about him with the art, with Drake. And so everything has
a purpose to it. Yeah. But you are not supposed to take that literal. If your money stack is 1,000, invest 1,000 in something. You know what I'm saying? Make it turn into 2,000. He's talking to hustlers. They got 100 stacks sitting around, and he's showing you got to rinse this money. But people seem to think that he was talking down to them on the 444 because this is where his playing field is. But never take that stuff literal. Find your level in the playing field, and he's right.
But look at
where you putting your chips at.
But look at where the climate of hip hop has been, at least lyrically, right? Everything has been, you know, the mumble rap shit, right?
Yeah.
Now, we could sit here and talk about how we don't like it, but we know of it.
Yes.
We've heard it.
Yes.
So when the airwaves, the YouTube waves or whatever, have been flooded with this for the past 5 or 6 years, that's why Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole is looked at as these lyrical gods when they're dope. But it's not like, yo, they're killing it, don't get me wrong. I rock with J. Cole,
but at the same time,
you know,
in times when the vibration is so low, you just gotta hit almost even keel and have extraordinary effects behind it.
And also, they're in the same age group as the mumble rappers.
Right, absolutely.
So it's like, oh, out of these dudes, look at these rising phoenixes, right?
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. Kendrick is dope. I'm more J. Cole. But they both dope. Now, when you used to hearing that, Jay comes out and drops these jewels. So people are like, it's taking a minute for it to process. Like, you used to hear it. Plus, you used to Jay. Last name was Tom Ford. And, you know what I'm saying? And he was very, very laid back with that. But now he's in this so many lyrics and double entendres all through it. But you got to
understand.
And 50 said something. Same thing he said about Nas. He said, Nas talks like he's super intelligent, but he's really not smart. His lyrics sound smart, but he's a dummy. Look what he did. He signed with Jay. He did all of this stuff. But he tried to say the same thing about Jay shit.
Can't say the same thing about him.
Like, yo, why you listening to Jay, man? He ain't turning up in the club. You can't be the greatest rapper at 47.
He actually tried to anti-Jay.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Didn't work, though.
It didn't work.
Didn't work.
Jay has the ability to move the meter. And that's the problem. A lot of dudes are upset because, they might have said these same rhymes or same concepts 10 or 15 years ago, but you don't have the capacity to move the meter the way Jay does. Jay is just that dude. You just gotta kind of accept
he said
that.
It, man. He said it's more than music when I talk to it on an album on 15 years ago on one of his albums.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And he's been talking about his masters from the beginning.
Yeah. Owning his masters from the beginning. Prince talk. So the point is that you're right. Jay is definitely shifting it. We'll just see where it goes. Now.
So for me as a conscious dude, I don't get upset. I'm applauding that because you're making my job actually easier. So I didn't take it as, oh, I said that, and now all of a sudden Jay's stealing concepts. No, I'm like, thank you, because if the goal is to make people more aware. So even when he was trolling the Illuminati stuff, it got to a point where it was raising the consciousness and awareness of the concept, but then it got trolly. And then
it's just everybody's
right. But it was a moment when he raised it to people was like, what is the, and it gave segues for me and my team to go in and teach those who wanted to learn, and then the internet just took it over and turned.
Type in Illuminati and you'll see Jay-Z and Griff.
Jay-Z and
Griff will be talking about it, and Jay-Z will be, you know, he'll eat a Dorito. He'll eat a Dorito with a triangle. Oh, it's Illuminati.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So I mean, so Jay definitely, so you know, but he played it well.
He played it well. He played it well, and I applauded it because he knew what time it was. He knew every time he wore something.
In 5 days.
Platinum again in 5 days.
People say it's cheating. That's not cheating, man.
Well, what in a way I thought it was cheating.
He just played the industry. But
he played boom. He's using everything at the industry's disposal against the.
How many albums have sold? You're gonna tell me that Special Ed, and that's the homie too. Special Ed, I Got It Made. They try to tell that boy his album only sold 490,000 copies. You know that album probably went triple platinum.
Even
so they've been cheating
even the Brand Nubians.
Yeah, that Nubians gotta have at least a platinum.
At least maybe double platinum. Yeah, everybody
so
had
they all
that.
cheat the numbers. You know what I mean?
And now, but I think the industry has hindered guys like Drake. See, Jay and them made their money when you still had to purchase CDs. The bulk of their money.
Right.
Now, Drake could have 50 billion views, and it doesn't equate to the numeric value in terms of money. So now they're trying to figure out a new way to, you
can sell.
How many downloads now equal one sale?
1,500 streams equals 10 sales of an album.
Okay.
Right? So when Jay's platinum, you know how many people were streaming that thing on Tidal?
Right.
Come on, man. I mean, and he's owning it. That's the smartest move. I'm like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He did the same thing with Samsung on the last album.
Yeah, but see, that was cool because they bought the album, but then people had to get the app in order. So I don't know, was the app for free? Did you have to buy the app?
I think you had to buy the app.
So if you bought the app for $2, you bought the album.
You bought the album.
You bought it. I don't know. It's just smart business to me.
I made this proclamation 10 years ago that they won't be selling albums anymore.
Yeah. Music is free anyway.
Music is free.
Yeah.
And it has to be used as the vehicle needed for you to, do whatever else you got coming down the pipe. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, let's go back to Prodigy for a minute. I know you watched his... What'd you think about his little interview, the last interview he did with the therapist?
No, that was good,
and
man.
Where his mindset was at that specific time.
He was pretty much on that mindset for a while, but when he started telling the stories about seeing the dark figure in his room and the lights coming down and all that, that's when I was like, yo, I ain't never hear him say that. And that got to me. You know what I'm saying?
And you can tell he was clear-minded.
Yeah, man.
At the moment.
I don't know about this Illuminati killed him. Like we said, look, they could have. Who knows? Somebody might have did it, but they said it was 120 degrees out there.
And he had sickle cell.
And he was messed up on stage. Then he went to the after party, and they had to bring him out of he passed out at the after. From what I heard, this is what they were saying. Havoc, I think, was saying that he passed out at the after party, and they had to bring him out in a stretcher. So for all we know, his blood pressure could have been, who knows?
Right, absolutely.
And so, you can get to the hospital, they IV you up and all that, and you can have an aneurysm or something. Who knows? But you never know. I mean, they could have.
But you have these people online now. Everything is the Illuminati, and it's starting to give me a headache.
Yeah.
And I say that to say, because now the word on the street is Havoc kept it real. And my thing is, okay, cool. What are you going to do now with this information that he kept real? He was giving you the truth what are you gonna do now besides pour out a little liquor and fucking throw paintballs?
They're gonna comment on YouTube videos.
Yeah, they're gonna comment on YouTube videos.
Comment on YouTube videos to say how real he kept it.
About a week.
They'll probably rock with. Well, now they're doing murals of him all over the world now.
Okay, so
not all over the world, but I think overseas. So they'll rock with Prodigy for a little longer. Unfortunately, they didn't do that for Phife, but for Prodigy, they're probably gonna do that because that really shocked. I mean, that blew me away because Phife was messed up,
right?
And we all knew that. Right. That Prodigy had the sickle cell.
Right.
That threw a lot of people off.
Yeah.
At first I thought it was a hoax, and I was like, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And last time I seen him was last year, the show we did in Brooklyn. But or was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago in Brooklyn. But yeah, that was sad, man. Everybody's trying to tie it to Jay-Z's album and the All Eyes on Me movie. It's all connected. And by the way, the All Eyes on Me movie was good.
I didn't see the All Eyes.
It's good.
Is it?
It's good, and I'm gonna tell you why it's good. It's good because. And I knew they was going to mess it up, right? Now, and when I say mess it up, L.T. Hutton and them didn't mess it up. I knew that the Crabs in the Barrel was going to do it, man. Because they didn't go directly to the Death Row stuff.
Got you.
Started off with the Black Panthers.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't traditional. It wasn't a traditional movie. It was narrated and they jumped scenes.
Got you.
Because it was like a Quentin Tarantino kind of switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
So he may have went to jail and then the next scene he's at a club.
Gotcha.
But he's talking about what happened and why he was in the jail. So a lot of people just wanted to hate on it. And it's all crabs in a barrel, man.
Yeah.
And they talking about all that money's not going to his estate. And they was, where do you think Straight Outta Compton went? You think Eazy-E's estate got all that?
True story.
Come on, son. Like, I be like, yo, y'all don't even make any sense when y'all talk like that. So, but I like the movie. I thought it was good. The kid that played Pac is scary in there sometimes.
Got you.
You know what I mean? It was the only thing that was funny. And for anybody that's seen the movie, I mean, it's out on the internet, so I'm not. It ain't there's no secret to the Tupac story. Is that they had Snoop Dogg do the voiceover. Oh, terrible idea, man. Shit. Terrible idea. So when they doing a scene and the dude's going, Smiley's going, hey man, it's like, what are you doing?
Wow.
At first I thought it was something funny, like somebody made one because I seen a clip and I thought somebody did a spoof.
Right, like a spoof on
it. That's the only thing that threw me off.
Got you.
That was horrible. Bad idea doing that.
Got
But
you.
the kid that played Pac was ill. Everybody did their thing, you know what I'm saying? But what they did was the first thing they do, they start hating on it before it comes out. Oh, his mother this and this and that. So it already putting in just only the brothers, man. You got John Singleton had a script where they wanted Pac to get raped and all that.
Right.
And 50 came out, don't see it. What he say? He said, go use your fire stick. 50's a funny dude. He said he's seen an iPhone in there. It's just funny. But it was only that. But you don't see, people were complaining about the dude's cheeks. What's the kid that played, Joaquin Phoenix was playing in the Dragon, Walk the Line, whatever, what's my man name? Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
You ain't see them saying, Joaquin Phoenix eyebrows are too thick.
Right.
Only the crabs in the barrel think like that and downplay each other, man. I'm like, yo, man, don't do that.
And I did not see it for any specific reason.
I wasn't gonna have time
My
to see it.
timing was just a little off.
Yeah.
And then I said, so now I guess I'll get out into
the did decent. And plus, it did like $55 million.
I'm the kind to give my own opinion anyway.
Yeah.
Like when Straight Outta Compton came out, I was like, yo, this shit is dope.
Yeah, it is. It was.
Straight Outta Compton was fucking dope.
It was.
The whole movie, the cinematics. I said, yo, and people got on my case because they're like, yo, dude, you the one who was telling us about NWA. I said, yeah, but the movie
was dope.
Was dope. What do you want me to do?
That was, but they would have counter to Public Enemy. Anyway.
Right, of course.
But no, it ain't. It's not Straight Outta Compton. And here's what they do. This is how they plant the seed for the crabs in the barrel to do their job. Well, Straight Outta Compton did this and this and that. So you already looking for All Eyes on Me to be like that.
And believe it or not, it's very hard to tell Tupac's story.
Can't tell it.
It's such an intricate story with so many layers to it.
Yeah.
That is so hard to tell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there may need to be 2 or 3 movies.
There's gonna have to be 7 of them. But,
you know what I'm saying? Before you really get to gist of the story.
But it's a really good one. The kid that played, like I said, I didn't think it was all right. I thought it was dope. But we from that era.
Yeah, right.
So a lot of things I seen, I was like, yo, man, they was in New York when they did that,
when they did this
the rim thing. So we seen it. We knew about the quad. I mean, we all know about the quad thing. We ain't gonna put it out there, but we all knew about that.
Right.
But so that was that, man. And the kid that played Big is in it.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
So he got his.
He's in there.
That's dope.
So anyway, it's a good flick, but that's another. This all is relative to what we're talking about.
Gotcha.
Because it's all connected. Now they saying, Illuminati ruined the movie.
Yeah,
man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to do is
officially bury that. Me and Griff tried. I think we did the Death of the Illuminati DVD a while back, trying to kill that concept.
Ain't gonna happen, brother.
Because it's blown way out of proportion now, and it's not the original intent that we, you know, tried to educate people on. Even Prodigy, who said, you know, that line in ·96. That was the first time I had heard it on wax.
I didn't even know what the hell.
But I have been studying the books. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
A. Ralph Epperson's books, The Unseen Hand, New World Order, Behold a Pale Horse. I had been reading the books, but that was the first time I had heard it on wax. So we give him credit for starting it, but people still didn't know what it meant.
And that was a heavily Illuminati type music video.
Yes. Oh, yes.
This triangle light up from the sky.
I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, all that stuff. Half Eye, all that. It was funny.
Havoc spent his life, Prodigy.
You said it before, but I'll let you slide.
Okay, Prodigy spent his life attempting to educate people on these particular concepts, and that the rabbit hole does go deep. So we don't want to sit up here and act like it doesn't. But for those who are now going to say that the Illuminati killed him, then you need to live your life. He gave his life for you. If that's the story you're going to run with, if that's the narrative, then you need to unite and do something in his honor that says he didn't die in vain.
The only person that had the power to shift was Pac, right?
Right.
Pac had the power to, he had the Bloods and the Crips together. He had all of these things at 24, 23, 24, then 25 years old. Well, 25, he wasn't really doing that, but before that. So the only one that they claimed that has his power was Jay.
Yes.
But now, Jay's using it. He was touching on it, so he might have to be a little careful. But it depends on how people react to it.
It's all depending on how people are going to react to it. And Jay has to be very careful, because it's not just... See, it's one thing when you run about industry goons. That you just got to, you know, keep at bay. But you have a different level of goon when you start dealing with these Jewish sorcerers. You know what I'm saying? On a whole nother level. And now that he has not revealed his hand, but now he's up the ante, so to speak. You know what I mean? And people saying, well, Public Enemy put out these albums years ago. They did. So did Nas, so did Talib Kweli, so did Brand Nubian, so did the X-Clan, so did Black Dot, but we ain't Jay. But that's the issue that people are coming to grips with. This man is who he is. And he has the ability, whether you want to say the Illuminati gave him the power. Illuminati ain't writing no fucking rhymes, I'll tell you that shit, right? So whatever it is that Jay has, is his moment. Now, he may not always have that moment. It's his moment right now. How he chooses to define himself in this moment is critical.
But what they did before the album, right when the album was dropping, they started already saying, oh, he dissed Kanye. They focused on a little thing. He said 1-2 lines about Ye.
Yeah, he probably said.
And if I'm not mistaken, I didn't hear him say he cheated on Beyonce. I already was tempted to.
Well,
maybe he did.
Yeah, he did on the apology. He kind of roundabout way went about, I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? How would I do this and that? Then he talked about Becky. He did. He said,
I got that one.
You know what I mean?
I got that one. But I'm just saying, like,
and
they made it sound like he cheated for like the whole time they were together. He was smashing chicks every day.
Well, I don't know.
What I'm saying is,
even if the Beehive.
Even if
you gotta watch the Beehive.
Even if he did say that, the thing is they put that out there to take away from the other stuff he was talking about.
Absolutely.
So what's the people gonna? Oh, he responded to. How you made a diss album for your wife? Like, that don't even make any sense. That was the dumbest. So he responded to her Lemonade shit.
Yeah.
So you already listening to her, like, oh, he does Beyonce and Kanye?
But he talked about fatherhood.
He talked about
investments.
Yeah, man.
He talked about responsibility. He talked about rinsing your money. And see, let me say this too to the people out there. That's the American way. How you think the Russian mob did it, the Italian mob? Only thing they didn't sell drugs to their own people. They all rinsed and washed their money before they became legitimate business. So we come down on Jay because Jay kind of glorified it in his music, so to speak, but that's the goddamn American way. America's body count, you got to be out of your damn mind. Their body count is crazy. So to achieve these goals, there are things going on. This is what we mean by there's layers to this. And now Jay is just bringing it all full circle to say, yeah, you got to rinse this money.
Yeah.
Because the mob is always rinsing money.
Yeah.
Starting construction companies, putting sending dudes to lawyer schools because they know they're gonna need lawyers. You know what I mean? And I started a program and I said every drug dealer should sponsor a non-drug dealer from the hood. Send his ass to school. If you really want to get revolutionary, send his ass to law school, because guess who you gonna need in a few years? Goddamn lawyers. So these are not innovative ways. I wrote that in my book, Urban Culture Decoded. Plug. All right? I said if you drug dealers, and what is Jay talking about? Rinsing money, which is the same goddamn concept. Yep. Rinse your money so that you can do some positive things, because that's what Nicky Barnes and them did. Nicky Barnes and them own legitimate businesses. Nicky Barnes and them took care of the neighborhood. So Jay is not saying anything revolutionary per se. It's just that he's saying it, and now the Jews and all these other people who keep wanting him to just talk about getting money by any means necessary are pissed off because he pulled the spook who sat by the door shit on y'all and act like he didn't know what time it is, and he does know what time it is, and now he's revealing to your ass what time it is, and he has the ability to move the meter. Yep. We're not saying he's the exalted one and all that shit.
And the leader of the Illuminati.
But when he speaks, young people listen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He has a way to articulate these things. When his wife speaks, these young girls listen. Now they're in position to say some things to trickle down and have an effect on how you choose to live your life. I have no wrong with hustlers. I have no problem with hustlers saying, you know what? I think I'm gonna open up a cleaners now. Yeah. You know, do something in the hood a little bit different than to throw.
You know how you know that Jay's probably gonna be getting through? When you start hearing news about something's up with him. Yo, found out that Jay murdered somebody, or he owes taxes, or you know, you'll start getting questions. Is Jay-Z still? You'll start getting those things.
But that's the propaganda machine,
right?
And the Jews behind that.
But that's how you know he's
because they already started the anti-Semitic shit.
Yeah.
Once they hit you with that anti-Semitism shit, that's hard for you to escape most of the time. I'm pretty sure Jay paid his dues because he with Russell Simmons. Yeah. Russell Simmons be with them Jews and shit. You know what I'm saying? But just that one line where he said, you know what I'm saying? That's how they did it. You know what I mean? And he didn't lie. Because the Lehman Brothers and all these motherfuckers been attached to black people since the cotton fields and opened up all of their institutions based on fucking cotton and the Rothschilds and slave trade. So they've been here the whole 9 yards. And even when we got the so-called 40 acres and a mule, they rented us all the shit we needed to manufacture our shit and was raping us all the way through. So every step we make, the Jews is there with us, like, yo, we here. You know what I'm saying? Like leeches on top of us, sucking the energy. And, you know, Jay is at the point now where he say, yo, you know what I'm saying? But I fucks with Jimmy Iovine, but yo, it's time for the Elohim, baby.
But you know how they'll get, all it take is one line. Like how they do with people like, let's say, like my man, Oakley.
Yeah.
And now, you know how they really, like, I mean, they played him. We know they played him. He shouldn't have did that. You know what they did on the news? All it took was that line that they throw out to anybody, and it makes you look at them different. Something happens, they'll go, yeah, man, I hope he gets the help he needs.
Right, oh, yeah.
As soon as they say that,
absolutely,
help he needs, was he crazy? Is he on drugs?
Absolutely.
That's all they got to do is Jay could slip up and fall. Man, he might have been drinking some of that, you know, Ciroc stuff with Puff. I hope he's okay.
So his demons. So now we need to pay attention to how Jay, the reaction to his action.
Right.
So what else we need to cover? Shit,
man. I don't know. We're gonna shout out some folks. Red Pill, Blue Pill.
Shout out Red Pill.
I don't even know. Now, mind you, I don't know them brothers, but I check them out.
Gotcha.
What's my man? You know the Polite? Brother Polite?
Brother Polite.
You know what I mean? I seen some joints with him. I watched this joint.
King Simon.
Of course,
Sonetta TV. Lord Jamal.
Yeah, no doubt.
The list goes on.
Griff.
Brothers.
I know he's mentioned Griff, but we ain't shout him out.
Professor Griff.
Are you following me?
Are you following me?
You following me?
All right.
Shout out to Griff.
So all the brothers and sisters out there.
Oh, there's a lot of sisters out there. I don't know their names, but I be checking out the sisters is out there. You might know them by name.
Putting them out there.
Shout out to y'all for doing your thing.
Absolutely. So we want to shout y'all out. Where you gonna be?
Well, I'm shooting this music video next week. My homegirl Samantha Price, but that's just video thing. But next month I'm hitting the road.
Hitting the road.
Right.
Tone is hitting the road.
Right, man. And Well, I'm taking full advantage of the bluegrass hip hop stuff that I did for the TV show. So I'm touring with that music.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man. So shout out to my man, some other cats I'm rolling with out there, and yeah, man. Booking agent is out there getting it together now. Shout out Crystal from Red Leather Booking. She's doing it. She's booking. She's out of Colorado, so she's holding it down, man. We're gonna do it, man.
That's what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't stop, brothers. This is volume 1. We got so much. We're gonna call us the masterclass.
Yeah,
volume
man.
1,
we're gonna do this,
and we'll just keep it rolling.
Yeah, man.
You already know what it is. Urban X TV.
Yes, sir.
All right. Peace.
Yep.